for joining us today. My name is Sasha Parrish, and I am the staff editor of the Diversity Business Review and the host of the Diversity Business Review podcast. On today's episode, we have with us contributing author of the Diversity Business Review Spring Edition, Jahmal Miller. Let's dive right in. Jahmal, thank you for being here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Good morning, Sasha. My name is Jahmal Miller. I am the Chief Administrative Officer with Mercy Medical Group in Sacramento, California. We are a part of the national health care delivery system called Common Spirit Health. I'm also a board member for the California Endowment, which is a $4 billion health foundation established in 1996 here in California. And as we'll talk about later, I'm also a new author, author of Equity, Equality, and Justice for All. So I'm just happy and proud to wear those hats, and I'm delighted to speak with you today.
Congratulations on your new authorship. Speaking of authorship, Jahmal, you submitted the article Strength and Vulnerability, Black Men and the Importance of Mental and Behavioral Wellness. Can you give us a brief summary of your article for those who may be interested but unfamiliar?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a strong believer, that in historically marginalized communities such as the African American and Black community, that a strong part of our resilience in our community is that of the health, mental health and well-being of our men and boys in particular, and not to the exclusion or detriment to our women and our girls. But we play such an essential role in all sectors of life. And as a Black man, there has been so much stigma tied to the importance of caring for ourselves, caring for one another, especially in corporate America, where we find ourselves isolated. So when Pam extended the opportunity for me to author an article, I wanted to, talk about or highlight the importance of us caring for ourselves, and when we're not well in particular, saying something, doing something about it so that we can optimize and be the best people in our communities that we can be.
Thank you. So what are some specific takeaways you want readers to draw from your article?
So in the title where, one of the lead messages is stated there around strength and vulnerability, oftentimes in an environment where, you have labels and terms out there such as toxic masculinity and, a certain level of negativity associated with, being strong, healthy, men who are very diverse, coming from different backgrounds. And oftentimes, when we think about how masculinity is defined, we often are raised in an environment, to where being vulnerable and acknowledging, our imperfections, our downfalls, our failures when we're not well in mind, body, or spirit. So I wanted to flip that narrative, as many others have for many years, as far as acknowledging that there is true strength and vulnerability, and particularly when you need help, it's difficult, to get the help that you need when you don't acknowledge it. It's like if you have an open wound and you don't have the gift to heal yourself or to do surgery on yourself, you have to acknowledge, the need to get up, go see the doctor. They can acknowledge and diagnose exactly what is wrong with you, and you can be healed. And that's key to us being truly, strong men of the African diaspora, to identify that there is strength and vulnerability, and we don't always have to have it together. We can, take off that mask. We can take off, those defense mechanisms so that we can truly be reconciled, restored, and operate in the fullness of who we are. And particularly our mental and behavioral health is key to doing all of those things.
Absolutely. So it's been a while since you wrote this article. Since then, have you come across any new data, maybe changed an opinion or expanded on an opinion? Maybe you even want to write more?
Yes. In the article, I highlight an experience where last year at the 51st Annual Legislative Conference, hosted by the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, I had the opportunity to curate a very powerful panel of leaders, from our community, Black men who lead in various facets of corporate America from across the country. Some are nonprofit executives, some are health technology CEOs and founders. We had a state legislative elected official on the panel. And we all just brought different perspectives on this panel that was attended by over 150 people who
Wow.
went to the conference last year. And the topic, was exactly what we're talking about today, around Black men and the importance of mental and behavioral wellness. And we only had about 50 minutes to talk about the issue, and the line for Q&A at the end of the session was about 20 people deep. And from that time till now, there has been lots of increased heightened awareness, not just only because of what we did last year at the conference, but really when you look across various publications, when you look on social media platforms, it's starting to become a bit more normal to acknowledge and be honest about innovative ways to cope with the challenges that we experience uniquely as Black men when it comes to anxiety, stress, depression, and trauma. And a lot of times we know what the problems are. So really over the last 12 months, I found myself in conversations, in corrective, and constructive modes of finding solutions. And a big part of that has been, what are those things that we can do to actually cope and intervene, whether it's prayer, meditation, exercise, healing circles. There are getting therapy, there are a number of things that have really been highlighted over the last year in my private circles, from a corporate standpoint, different organizations that I belong to and various publications that I read that have really been trying to mainstream, the importance of really acknowledging the importance of a just culture. If you see something, say something. If something is wrong, then acknowledge that so that you can, really do what needs to be done to be restored, to be made whole, and to really thrive at the end of the day. So from that time last year till now, there has been, a lot that has transpired about what you can actually do to be better within your community for the benefit of your family and for you individually. And then the other piece that I'll add too is just highlighting the importance of building power in our communities, because once you kind of get to a place of feeling healthy where you thrive, it's like, what can you do when you are feeling good? You can produce better and lead better in the corporate setting. You can tap into the importance of political incorporation and civic engagement when we think about how we can involve ourselves in decisions that federal government and state government and local governments are making to make programs, resources, and funding available to support the mental and behavioral wellness needs of our community. So that's been the other piece when we think about power building. How do you transform and use power to eliminate health and mental health inequities that uniquely affect our community? And those are kind of the two general areas, that over the last, few months since I wrote this article has started to resonate a bit more deeply with me.
I think that's really beautiful, especially that increased awareness. Um, Thank you so much for coming on today and for telling us about this topic and introducing us to some new data as well. Is there anything you would like to add before we go?
Yes, just want to highlight, as I shared earlier, I have been in healthcare 25 years now, and I debuted this past May as an author. My book, Equity, Equality, and Justice for All, is out now, and it's just been an honor to share the book by way of all the major distributors, including Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It has offered opportunities to get out there and to speak about the importance of health equity, my journey throughout my 47 years of who inspired me, what inspired me, unique experiences that I've had growing up, as a healthcare leader. And it's all centered around the importance of advancing health and racial equity, and how out of our communities, we all have a unique opportunity as we were born to be an advocate. So I'm really excited about the book, and more information can be received about the book at jahmalmiller.com. That's JAHMAL Miller.com. I'm on every social media platform, and I'm hopeful that in tandem with Diversity MBA, we can continue to share the good news about this book that I've been blessed to be able to author.
Absolutely, and congratulations once again. To
Thank you.
our listeners, that was JahmalMiller.com. You can find out more about his book there. You can also access Jahmal's full article on the Diversity Business Review website, diversitybusinessreview.com, or in the Diversity Business Review Spring Edition alongside several of our other amazing contributors. Thank you so much for coming on here today, Jahmal.
Thank you.